Have you ever heard of Thomas the Tank Engine? If you have been around little kids between the ages of 2 or so and around 7 or so, I'm sure you have. My son adored Thomas so much that he could name every single train, knew what color they were, and the number they had painted on them. I was glad when I heard that he was coming to visit me over the summer, but I had a ton of work to do, so I bought him a Thomas DVD. The cover looked innocent enough. What was also interesting was that Thomas was smiling, and little wooden children were waving their arms out of the windows in his coaches. The DVD was called Thomas and the Children. He was so excited to see the DVD that right off the bat, he pleaded with me to pop it into the DVD player. I went to work while he watched it. After a few hours, he came to my office, looking as pale as a sheet. Daddy? He spoke. His voice seemed weak. Are you okay? I asked, touching his head. I noticed that his temperature had gone up. Why did Thomas kill the children? My heart sank like a stone, but I soon brushed it off. I'm sure Thomas didn't kill the children, I reassured him. Now you need your rest and some medicine. I gently pushed him towards his room. Come on now. After putting him to bed, I got curious as to what he had seen. I thought to myself. I popped in the DVD and began to watch the episode play. It seemed normal enough. The episode began as Thomas was told to take a group of children to the seaside by the instructions of Sir Topham Hatt, aka the Fat Controller, as he is called in the UK dub. I noticed something a little odd though. There was no narrator in this episode. The rest of the children then show the rest of the episode then showed Thomas picking up the little wooden children and showed every single one of them climb on board. Then there was a scene with him zooming down the rails like he always did, and the kids were cheering. But then there was trouble, as they say in the show. Birdie the bus was stuck on the level crossing. This was when the episode got dark. Birdie stared at Thomas in fear, but the little blue engine just smiled and sped up. What was even disheartening is that he started laughing. The kids were confused at first, but as they got closer, they began to cry now, and little tears could be seen coming out from their wooden faces. Thomas crashed into Birdie, causing pieces of them to fly everywhere. Usually by now the narrator would say, and luckily no one was hurt. There was no reassurance for the kids. The episode then showed the carnage inside the coaches. Wooden limbs were broken off. What looked like actual blood had been splattered everywhere. Heads had been ripped off of the little bodies of the little dolls. And worse yet, the children still had tears painted upon their faces. Everything went to static. After that, I felt myself boiling with anger. What sicko would create something that merciful, kids? I thought to myself. When I paused the static, messages started to appear on the screen. Disturbing messages like kill, obey, multiply, and die. I watched the static for over an hour and noticed 30 different types of messages. I threw the accursed thing in the trash after breaking it in half. I would not expose my child to any more of that trash. Before going to bed to myself, I checked him. He was happily asleep and snoring, clutching his teddy. I wonder if he was traumatized from this, but I don't know. I then went to bed soon enough. I had nightmares from this. One where the children came into my room, but they were lifelike and as tall as a normal person. Their twisted forms grabbed my limbs and pulled me apart. While I heard that blasted train laughter. Now, I have woken up, covered in blood, knife in hand, too afraid to go check my son's room.